Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between HeZNa and Fusion on Dusk Towers. So this is a PvT on on Dusk Towers, and this is a pretty good map. It has some really good casts on this map already, and I'm really excited for this cast. In the bottom left of Dusk Towers, it is the red Terran player, it is HeZNa. And in the top right of Dusk Towers, it is the blue Protoss player. It is Fusion, representing Team Ascension. So PvT, again, a very varied matchup here in StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. We've seen Disruptor play from Protoss. We've seen them go Colossus. We've seen Sky Toss. We've seen Sky Terran. We've seen Bio from Terran as well. We've seen Liberator play tear through Protoss players. We've seen Protoss players walk through circles of death against Liberators and not fear and win regardless. So the more I watch, the more I feel like Liberator play can be countered just by Protoss players not caring about Defender mode circles and just getting in there and killing stuff anyway. So I don't know, we'll have to see how aggressive Fusion is in this matchup, or if Liberators even come into play at all. We'll have to wait and see. So again, quick plug here at the start of the cast for my store. There's a link in the description, as well at the end of the cast during the end slate. Go ahead and visit there. There are a few t-shirts available, StarCraft 2 shirts, Falcon Paladin shirts. Wear them with pride around your house and school and work, and people will be like, "You are so stylish. Look how awesome you are, sir or madam." And we also take requests. So the guy that runs the store with me, he says he can print any kind of shirt you want. So somebody saw the StarCraft 2 shirt that is the Zerg logo, Protoss logo, Terran logo with the American flag behind it and said, "I'd like that, but with a German flag. Is that possible?" And we said, yes, absolutely. Go ahead and contact us through the Contact Owner button on the Etsy store, and we'll be glad to make any variation on the shirt that you want. Just make your wishes known, and we will make it happen. We have a kind of limited inventory right now. We're just not quite sure what will sell and what won't. And the more input we can get back from you guys, the better. So thank you so much. Is the probe going to scout? Oh, so close. Gets the scout off before the supply depot comes down. That was clutch timing indeed by Fusion. Getting right on in, seeing the single gas. So it's not a double gas play. Definitely not going to be Banshees this early anyway. And a Reaper does get the kill, but the probe got its job done. Saw the timing on that second gas and said, all right, this is probably going to be Bio based on what we're seeing here. And yep, a reactor being built on the barracks. Is there a factory coming up as well? Yep, there goes the factory. Exactly. The timing is very standard indeed for the Terran player. And again, I can't really fault Terran players at this point for not making Cyclones. We've seen players try to make Cyclones here on the latest retail patch of Legacy of the Void, and they're just not super great. The damage that the output that they do isn't fantastic. They're not very tanky either. So in earlier patches of the beta, Cyclones were amazing. They were tiny gods. They locked down everything that Protoss had. I saw a couple wins with mass Cyclone just decimating Protoss, but they nerfed the damage on the Cyclone, and now it just isn't as good for the Terran players. So again, I can't blame them for not really using it. KD8 charge not doing anything there. Good splits by Fusion. Has some Adepts up. Going to try to catch this Reaper. They do extra damage. Adepts do to Reapers because they are light units. And is it 23 damage? I always forget on this one. Yep, 23 damage versus light, which is not a two-shot on the Reaper, but it's close. Psionic transfer being used to try to keep up with this Reaper. Mothership core as well going to be used. Backing up two Adepts show up to finish him off though. Did he get a single kill? He got that one probe that was down in his base, but other than that, no. So pretty good scout though. Did actually spot the robotics facility, the early robo facility here from Fusion. What is Fusion going to do with that one? And the answer right now is an observer. Cyclones. I spent all that time saying how Terran players are afraid of Cyclones, and HeZNa says, you know what, man? I'm good enough, I'm strong enough, and I'm going to go ahead and make Cyclones, and I'm going to win with this unit. You just wait and see. Alright, HeZNa, I believe in you, man. I believe. Here comes some Adept pressure, killing individual Marines. Individual Marines against this many Adepts is not good. And lock-on being used here, backing out of the range of the Cyclone, though. So again, this is a Cyclone. It has the lock-on ability, which locks on the Cyclone's weapons on a target unit, dealing 400 damage over 14 seconds to ground targets and 400 damage over 14 seconds to flying targets. Same thing. Can move while firing. That's the big deal. Can move while firing is not something many units have. Phoenix can do it, and Cyclones can do it. But that's about it. Are these guys waiting for a Warp Prism attack that's not coming? It sure looks like it. I mean, the Robo Facility... Okay, I guess there is one coming. Never mind. HeZNa, I apologize for insulting your intelligence. There is definitely a Warp Prism attack coming. I just don't know when or where, but apparently HeZNa thinks it's going to be right here. Blink is on the way. Vikings in production concurrently here for HeZNa at the same time. Marines being made, and a third command center just getting started. HeZNa feeling very bold indeed. So Warp Prism heading around the left side of the map. Going to go ahead and try to attack the natural base. The Observer scouting this out and saying there are no missile turrets, there are no bunkers, there are no army units down here at all. This is ripe for the picking. But guess what? Marine checks it out. Oh, Marine. Good placement by HeZNa, knowing the routes that a Warp Prism would be likely to take and then spotting it, removing the element of surprise for Fusion and basically forcing him to go back home. Oh, well played indeed there, Terran player HeZNa, and units over here as well, just in case the Warp Prism comes anyway. He is going to be ready, but all this is doing is actually keeping HeZNa inside his base. And honestly, Protoss are best when they're on the offensive, not necessarily on the defensive. So what this does is it gives Fusion more time to get up an army, to get upgrades, get that +1 attack, continue to make stalkers, get a robotics bay, and not have to worry about pressure from the Terran player, because the Terran player is so worried about pressure from the Protoss player. It's kind of like the chicken and the egg. What came first, fear of pressure or lack of pressure? That is a philosophical question for you, brought today by Falcon Paladin. So here comes a push. Fusion feeling pretty good about what he has right now. Some Adepts, Stalkers, Immortals, and Sentries pushing out across the map. More and more gateways being added on. The robotics bay is finished. The question is, what is it going to be used for? And I don't think it's going to be Colossus. Haven't seen that a whole lot in PvT lately, but nothing yet. Disruptors might be good against the Cyclone. A Cyclone has 120 hit points. A Purification Nova does kill a Cyclone with 1 hit. So that might be a good play indeed. I don't know about this particular composition. Warp Prism here to bring in more reinforcements. I like the single Immortal, but more Stalkers coming in as well. They're going to try to deny the third base. I'm not sure where it is. There it is, floating right on in to this area. But guess what? Fusion is darn near waiting for that. I wonder if these players know each other. Have they played each other a lot? Because it seems like they're pretty familiar with each other's tricks. Here comes some Medivacs heading out all by themselves. Oh, if the Stalkers blink under them, that'd be ginormous. Anyway, here comes a battle of... Yep, a couple shots get off there. The Medivacs are forced to retreat. Random force field being thrown down there by Fusion. This base up and running. Missile turret on the way for HeZNa, taking the third pretty much without a fight. The army was here to kind of harass some things for Fusion, but in the end he decided not to. The Marines and the Marauders and the Cyclone were enough to chase him away. Just kind of poking in, taking some shots. Now standing right on in there. And force fields coming up at the same time, enough to back away, then come right back in once more, killing an SCV. They're trying to get rid of these bunkers. Couldn't quite get that one there. More reinforcing Stalkers getting warped on in, and the first Disruptor on the way onto the field for Fusion. Another one coming across. Actually, that's the second Disruptor. A Marine coming down saying, hey you Disruptor, what do you think you're doing? And ends up dead. Got the scout off though. Purification Nova gonna get right on in there, and there's the dodge, but kills a bunker and an SCV. Body flying into the air, and I think siege with Purification Nova might not be a bad idea here for Fusion. Purification Nova balls are invincible, so you just have to dodge them. You can't really kill them or like throw up any kind of defense against them whatsoever. These bunkers are gonna get shot until they're gone. I don't know about this. This is a pretty strong position here from Fusion. Coming on in, stimming, getting the Observer. Nice observation about the Observer. That did not come off the tongue very quickly. Combat Shield on the way. Shield upgrades for the infantry on the way as well. Resources lost tab. Very small right now. 900 minerals, 200 gas. Purification Nova. Wham! Killing a bunch of that bio, but catching it. And no! Getting one of the Disruptors. Trying to move to the back of the army. Reinforcing Protoss managed to chase the Terran ball away. Only 300 minerals and 200 gas though left, or lost rather, for Fusion. So being very economic with his units to this point. APM tab 175, 228. Fusion really making those fingers fly across the keyboard and the mouse at this point. Disruptor hanging back saying, I got shot in the face, I didn't like it, don't make me go back in there. Fusion saying, I need you to win this game, man. I need it. Widowmine popping in right at the top of the ramp. Good placement there on that Widowmine by HeZNa, just out of range of the vision. Marine pops in to scout things out. A scan does a better job of scouting things out. Armory on the way for the Terran player, probably just for additional +3/+3 upgrades. More Marines, more Marauders, more Medivacs on the way for HeZNa, sticking with what he knows, what he's comfortable with. A single Cyclone with 0 kills, but that's about it. Drops are loading up. If the drops can get up there, I don't know what's defending these bases right now. for Fusion. Ooh. I really don't know what to expect. Widowmine getting picked off by that Stalker, exploding into 1,000 tiny pieces. Actually going after another Widowmine here from 2 angles. Widowmine, no, does manage to escape with exactly 13 hit points. The drop heading across, there's nothing to scout this for Fusion. Stalker's just being annoying. Purification Nova coming in, and oh, fantastic hits there. Killing the bunker, killing the SCV, killing a bunch of Marines as well. Woo! Fusion played that perfectly. Medevac's heading up the right side. They're going to do a lot of damage to the Protoss player. There's a single cannon. Okay, 2 cannons here. Where's the mothership core? Here it is. So there's enough for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. They can do 5 photon overcharges to defend against this. That might be enough. Honestly, does HeZNa? No. Purification Nova again, not doing super well. 1 disruptor dying there. A pretty good splits by the Terran player once again. But guess what? The mothership core is here, and the attack is coming up here. Dropping right inside that mineral line. Stim coming up. A lot of probes are dying. The next is going to be the next target. I think the Twilight Council maybe as well. There goes the photon overcharge, but then pylon falls immediately, and good micro getting the mothership core was HeZNa. This base is under complete lockdown. The entire army is forced to retreat home for Fusion, and this is exactly the power of the Terran mobility. He was sieged at the front door. He didn't want to move out, so he just flew out, took down an entire base of Fusions, going after this forge as well. Purification Nova available. There it is, and getting right on top of that bio ball, killing a bunch of them, but sacrificing its own life in the process. Are disruptors robots? I think they're robots. I don't think they're actual living beings in there. Anyway, the drop picking up and moving out, and might try to drop in here as well. There are 3 cannons though. I don't think it's enough to really scare off this bio ball, especially considering the bio. Is it only +1? +1/+1. Upgrades have not been extremely forthcoming to this point for HeZNa, but that's okay. Replacement mothership core on the way, as well as air weapons level 1. What on earth? What is Fusion doing with air weapons level 1? Does he even have a Stargate? He does. He has a Stargate, but 2 robotics facilities, which I think would be maybe more important for him. Man, I really don't know. Warp Prism getting picked off. Ooh, Viking taking that down along with the help of that Cyclo. Who got the kill? Looks like the Viking got that kill. Yep, Viking got the kill. Sorry, Cyclone. No kills for you yet. Blinkstalkers chasing the medevacs. A stim for HeZNa. Probably unnecessary, but better safe than sorry, I suppose. Stalkers with +2 attack, +1 shield, +3 attack on the way from HeZNa. Did he have +2 the whole time? Where is that bio? Yeah, I guess he did. No, he didn't. Alright, just finished. Purification of coming in, getting a couple shots off. A lot of bodies getting flown into the air. Mostly Marauders, from what it looks like. Standing right on in. Purification Nova. The splits are insane from HeZNa, though. The Stalkers, however, just standing right on in here, trying to kill what they can. Disruptors getting focused down by the bio ball. 1 disruptor left in the back. It finally gets killed by the Marauders on the right side, but slowly getting whittled down. The upgrades are really helping right now, I think, for the Stalkers, but guess what? Marauders with stim and +2 attack are pretty scary, and the Marauders do chase away the Stalkers. They're forced to go on back home there. More disruptors on the way. Fusion on the back foot here for sure. Is he going to get headed off? Blinking down, picking up a bunch of the medevacs, and a few of these reinforcing Marines and Marauders slowly working his way back down the line, getting ghosts. 1 more ghost, and no, Widowmine gets a shot off as well, trying to deny this base. All the Stalkers get completely cleaned up. It's 136 to 93 total supply, 8,000 minerals, 1,700 gas loss for the Terran, 9,800 minerals, and 4,000 gas for Protoss, as well as 20 workers. HeZNa has turned this game around. Fusion was in a position of power, but now the Terran player is showing the full abilities of the Marine Marauder tank. Medevac, Widowmine, Ghost, Viking composition. This is pretty helter-skelter. Pretty all over the place, but feeling very strong indeed. Coming in again. Sentries are here for some force fields and some Guardian Shield. I don't see it being thrown down, though. Purification Nova getting a couple shots off. Now the Disruptor is completely gone. Trying to blink back the wounded Stalkers and actually forcing the Terran player back there. That battle went a lot more efficiently for Fusion. Getting another Medevac he really wants to. As Blink on cooldown, he's going to chase this army all the way back home, using that blink ability, and there it is, stimming away. It is +2, +1, and +3, just about to finish here for the Terran player. That's a planetary fortress, and yeah, Fusion wants nothing to do with that. Blinks out of there. And both players just take a breath. At this point, it is 4 base to 4 base. Again, Fusion did lose this base entirely, had to replant it, which hurt him, but he is down 63 to 53 total harvesters. 138 supply to 116 in favor of the Terran player. Spending right now is fairly even. Economy 8,000 each, technology about 4,500, 5,000 each, and army Terran player 18,000 and almost 20,000 for the Protoss. But again, that is kind of the benefit of the Marine Marauder medevac, is that it's cheap, it's effective, it upgrades well, it scales well, and you don't really have to spend all the money on the higher cost tier 3 type units to really keep in the game. So it's the benefit of playing Terran. Another base coming up for HeZNa, the 5th base now, as the music gets very, very exciting. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. Forge on the way. More disruptors coming on down at the same time. Twilight Council, I think, being replanted because it died earlier. But either way, Fusion just trying to restabilize. I don't think the Stalkers are the great choice against these Marines and the Marauders. They just get melted by Marauders, especially that do extra damage to these armored units, which Stalkers are. And no +3 is forthcoming. He's going to be down on upgrade advantage. HeZNa playing this extraordinarily well with the lower APM, 183 to 225 over the course of this entire game. Another Nexus coming up, 5th base coming at about the same time as HeZNa's command center. Should finish a little bit afterwards, but again, the Disruptors are a pretty good choice, but as long as the splits continue to be good for HeZNa, I don't know how it's going to work out. Liberators are on the way. Oh, HeZNa, bless you, my son. Bless you so much. I'm very, very happy that you're making Cyclones and Liberators in this game. As a Terran player, I salute you. Good sir, I salute you very, very hard. Does that sound bad? Saluting hard, saluting well, saluting respectfully? Is that a word that makes sense? I was a communications major in college, so I should be able to speak better than that, but I think saluting well is probably the best way to go with that. Boring, but probably the best choice. Collapsing this rock tower for reasons I don't fully understand, I guess. Yeah, to avoid actually getting a ledge for Stalker to come up and kill stuff at his mineral line there. Very, very smart indeed by HeZNa. I apologize for questioning you. Observer here, I think if HeZNa sees it, he'll kill it with a scan and a kill. Purification Nova's forcing the army back. Just one. Just firing a warning shot here. Liberator coming in to throw down Defender mode. Defender mode does do 85 damage to Liberators here now. +3 armor almost on the way for these infantry units. +3/+3 Marines and Marauders are terrifying. Oh, huge disruptor hit though. Wow, another 2 coming in on this army. Amazing split once again though, left and right. Stalkers, Zealots coming in from the left side. Purification Nova killing everything though from up on top of that ramp. Sentries trying to tickle stuff to death. This Stalker count is big. Oh, not allowing the Terran player to retreat, throwing down those force fields. And no, the Terran player is going to stand in and fight anyway, then picking up and running off. Blink Stalkers want to kill these medevacs. Can they get 1 or 2? Yeah, I think they got 1. But that was about it. Good positioning here, I think, from Fusion, leaving the Disruptors on this high ground and sending the Purification Nova down so they can't get focused down as easily by HeZNa. Got a couple of good shots off. Just pure Purification Nova hits that came on in. They were too much, I think, for HeZNa to dodge effectively that many times. So I think that's what we'll start seeing in these PvT games, is just a lot of Disruptors coming on in, a lot of Novas, and just a lot of dodging by HeZNa. And whoever wins the dodging war might win the game. It reminds me of the Hagen the Unclean, the safety dance in Naxxramas in World of Warcraft, if you ever played that one. That was a boss fight that was predicated entirely on movement. It wasn't really about DPS. It wasn't really about killing the boss as fast as you can or staying alive based on attacks the boss was doing. It was instead knowing where you're supposed to be so that the environment does not kill you before you can kill the boss. So that kind of reminds me of what this is, in that it's all about positioning rather than necessarily about the damage that you are doing. So HeZNa, again, as a Terran player, used to splitting against Banelings, so it makes sense that he'd be good against splitting against these Purification Novas. Again, this is a spell, so it does not actually benefit from upgrades at all. Is that the ground armor level 3? It is. Alright, so +3 attack came in while I wasn't paying attention. +3 armor on the way. These guys are obviously +3/+3. I've talked about that one. More Liberators coming up, Marauders, as well as Terran ship level weapons level 2. Why not? Liberator count getting pretty big. 7 Liberators now on the field. 2 more on the way. Another base coming up for Fusion. This is turning into a huge macro game. Another command center as well. What is this? A small Marauder hit squad taking down this debris, stimming, +3ing their way to victory. Maybe to try to take this gold base. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Going for this gold base here. Small skirmish here. Stalker versus Marine. Who's going to win that battle? Stalker! Sorry, Marine. You got shot right in the head by that laser, and you died. Observer, checking stuff up out here. Command center being built. That probably will be a planetary fortress just for additional defense against this army. Archons have been mixed in, and these are +3, +2 zealots, making them pretty darn strong against the Marine Bile Ball. Sniping right on in, going to get rid of this command center, and yes, indeed it is going to fall. Does not even get canceled. Defender mode circles coming up. Purification Nova's trying to kill all this bio on the ground. So much is happening here. Archons trying to get shots in. They're kind of trapped behind more Purification Novas, killing a bunch of bio units, but all the disruptors do end up falling. Archons smashing things down as well. Liberator defender modes doing 85 damage per hit, and the last Stalker falls for Fusion. HeZNa winning that. I don't want to say decisively, because this ball is a lot smaller than it was, but he won with a lot of units left over. Stimming forward, does he want to do a counterattack? He might want to do a counterattack. Going after the space, he scanned the Nexus. He saw it. The army's going to come down and try to save it. But all that there are a couple Archons, a few Sentries, a few Zealots, and this is a full Warp Prism getting takedown as well. Marines, Marauders, that's it. Fusion going with a rage quit there. HeZNa's victorious here at the 20-minute mark, and Fusion has left the game. So all came down to that final battle. The Purification Novas were good. I really think the Liberators did a great job, though. Setting up defender modes, getting a bunch of kills that way. 3 kills, 2 kills, 4 kills there. So adding up to a pretty big number in that battle right here at the base of this ramp. Purification Novas did get off. Pretty good splits by HeZNa, but again, they were out in the open. They got sniped down fairly quickly. They were not able to retreat back to where they came from. Concussive Shell was a big deal from these Marauders here, slowing down the Disruptors, not allowing them to retreat as they would like to do. Alright, so that's about it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, please enjoy the music at the end of the cast, visit the store, give that a try, and you take care of yourself.